Luxe West is new-ish, correct?
Very.
Like, when did y'all start?
January. I mean,
technically kicked it off January.
Yeah.
So almost a year. We've both been real estate 10 years apiece.
Yeah.
We started working together at our previous brokerage in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were just doing lots of things together and
Yeah.
teaming up a lot. So we were like, we'll just team up and just make a Dylan and Chloe team. And then we barely got started doing that. And we're like, we need to just keep on going with this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we stopped that immediately and started creating this.
Yeah. Because, we had the team, we're under the other brokerage, and we kind of don't do anything slow paced. So like,
Or halfway. Yeah.
or halfway.
Full
So
in.
yeah, we were putting a lot of money into just branding a team, and logo. And so we thought, you know what, I think we've kind of got the knowledge and the backbone to figure this out ourselves. So we took the step, and it's been a lot. Like, we've had to kind of honestly step out of real estate a fair bit in the last 10 months because we, starting a business and all the things and the logo and all the wheels in the background, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, you're creating your infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
all that first year is all infrastructure of how
Yeah.
do we operate, how do we function, how do we appear,
100%.
and then you can execute on that infrastructure.
Yeah.
For sure.
What did the Lux? Is it? Is it just? What's the meaning behind it? Or
Luxury Western real estate, luxury
Okay.
Western living, honestly,
Okay.
is what our passion is.
Okay.
So we obviously love real estate, but the luxury Western lifestyle. I grew up on the other side of the world, and I've met my best friend / business partner now, and we both ended up having that same thing in common. Is like we loved the Western way of life, and we also love the finer things in life, and we're able to blend those together in our careers, and so it kind of made sense for us.
yeah, well, that's cool.
'Cause, yeah.
I like it.
Can y'all tell us about, like, how does real estate work? Because you've both mentioned brokerages, and then there's teams, there's individual agents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the hierarchy? I
Yeah.
don't understand how it works.
So you have to be under, so obviously there's the broker, and then you have to be
What's the job of a broker? What is their role?
Well, I mean, I feel like, and this is just speaking definitely not textbook style, so you fix that afterwards. But like, I feel like there's two different ways to a broker. There's an active broker that's like actively, like practicing real estate, and then there's managing brokers. So really, I feel there's two different types of roles for a broker. Like we don't have anyone under us, so like there's no reason to be managing anyone, right? But like there's managing brokers that take care of agents all day, and they don't sell a lick of real estate themselves.
They answer all the questions. They make sure, their income comes from making sure their agents are successful, and they're answering questions for them all day. And then there's smaller boutique brokerages where the brokers are also active agents, and they're kind of your competition, and they still answer questions and they do their job, but they're a little less available. And
Are y'all? Is that where y'all would envision one day going to be managing brokers?
we don't really want people.
We don't want people.
We don't want people. No people.
Just
You will
customers.
be managing teams, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we really did this. We not fought, but in our heads back and forth, how we want this to go. And we went back and forth on it a lot, but we really built this for us to have peace and to do our job the right way and not have so much noise, and to just build what we know we want our real estate company to be,
And
and
what we
not
can
have
give.
to worry about. I mean, there are great agents that they'd be awesome additions, but we still need to be worrying about what they're putting out, how they're representing the brand, and so that's another job that I'd have to be doing instead of doing my job as an agent.
Yes.
And so we just kind of, it might change next year, but we've decided we really want
Go
to just be
100%
us.
with y'all too.
Yeah. And we do have a licensed assistant agent. We do have a licensed agent under us, but she's more of an assistant. But obviously she's licensed to be able to answer any questions, show properties if we need.
Yeah.
And then, we do have a team of people, but not necessarily a team of agents.
Gotcha.
Right, like
Yes.
office support,
Correct.
Backs,
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yes.
Yeah. You have infrastructure,
Yes.
but just not a bunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to, within business, you can take 50 paths, and it doesn't mean that one is good and bad, or
For sure.
it's just what do you want, and that's cool that you've focused before you start, So where you're driving the train
Yeah.
instead of being driven by your business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because if we would have let it when we started this, we had 20 agents that wanted to join, and that would have just been a completely different path. Not saying it would have been bad or wrong, but it would have been way
A
different.
different journey.
Yeah, different journey. Yeah. I mean, we may have some heavier pockets right now. Don't get me wrong. So, like, it was a little sad to say no to that, but we do feel at peace with the decision that we made because we know, honestly, what Luxe West can provide a client without having to hope that the agents underneath us are got the same
Doing the same.
mindset.
Right.
Yes.
And then you're like, how good are we at hiring or how good are we
Honestly,
at
like that's a
recruiting?
whole nother, like
That's a different skill
it's
set.
a whole different skill set. And so really Luxe West is, and I know we've talked about what you guys want to bring to the table. I know it sounds so cliche, but we want to be the extra, and when we have, it's so unique to already find two minds that think alike, that bring different things to the table, which is what Dylan and I are able to do in the same career path. So in order to try and find 3 or 4 or 5 more of those, I don't know if that's doable. And so it would be great for our bank accounts because we'd be able to make them successful. But I do think that Luxe West Realty would probably be watered down after time on what we have as a standard right now.
That's cool.
So-
And in a few years, maybe you've set such a standard. It, like you said, who knows what the future has.
Yeah, it may. And we may want to step back and not necessarily. So, but I just don't think that you can handle it all at once,
Yeah.
right?
No, and I think,
Yeah.
like you said, you spend time solidifying the brand, and then once you do that, you'll kind of attract.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Once
like
you-
attracts like.
Yeah.
Because you get some people that are like,
Yeah.
some people just they know, hey, like they're going at 120 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I want to go at 70.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it's like once you kind of establish what you're all about, it kind of
Absolutely,
will
yeah.
filter if you
And
ever decide.
we're so competitive and passionate at selling real estate still. I don't know if if someone does come on, we want to give them our everything. And so right now we want to give ourselves our everything, selfishly. And so I just, maybe in 5 years we'll take the step back and then we can balance that by giving them that attention.
How many listings can a good or give me 2 different numbers? A good agent can handle this many listings simultaneously, and a great agent can handle this many listings and deliver great service.
I think it's just so different in the space we're in, which is like farm and ranch and land and things like that, because the bigger the properties they get, the more you can't just have a system. Like if you are in Fort Worth and all the houses are cookie cutter kind of the same, you can have a system, but when you get these bigger properties, I mean, they take a lot more of your time, and they should. So I think your volume goes down.
Yeah, for sure.
Of as many listings as you can handle
Yeah.
goes down as you raise your price point a little bit.
The larger the
So
property.
I don't know. I mean, that's a hard number.
We've had 25 listings between us, and again,
We've had 50 between us.
and we've got 25. No, maybe not 25 now. We've had 50 between us too. But I mean, we've got a team that helps with things. So I mean, yeah, I think again, it really depends on what your kind of listings are and your clients. Honestly,
Yeah.
everything is really driven by your seller, your clientele, because you can have a client that is extremely needy, and if you have 1 or 2 of those out of the 50 listings that you've got, you can handle it. If you've got 50 of those, we're not going to be successful. So it really matters your clientele of who you've got at that moment.
When we start, so our tagline for our business is a better build experience. And when we start a project, we ask our customers, what does that mean to you, right? Because maybe some customers want the daily
Sure.
update, and
That's
maybe
right.
it's like, hey, look, just talk to me weekly, or
Yeah.
if something new happens,
Right.
let me know.
Right.
But having each customer define their experience gives you a better roadmap
Absolutely.
to individualize.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a really hard question to answer.
And the market, I think
Yeah,
the
bull
market
market
affects
or
that a
bear.
lot, because
Yeah.
a slower market, not that sellers get needier, but they're not selling as fast. And so they have a lot more questions like, what is happening? Why is this not selling? And in a fast-paced market, you know, you get it listed, you get your pictures, you do all your stuff right, it
So
sells,
true.
you move on.
So true.
You can handle a lot more in that.
If he was a needy customer, you're not gonna have him long.
Yeah.
Because he'll be
And
gone.
so, you know, you
It's
can
like-
get through it and
Oh,
you
yeah.
can just keep them rolling in. But in this market,
Yeah.
It-
You're organizing open houses
it is harder
every
to,
weekend.
to have
like,
more in this
yeah.
market because
gotta
you're
work
doing a
harder.
lot more work.
How do you penetrate? You started in January with a new name, new marketing, new brand.
yeah.
How do you penetrate each of these different markets?
I think it's our relationships. I mean, yes, people eventually will maybe start recognizing Luxe West, and that'll gain its own clients in its own right. But most of our clients come from the agent in our whole industry. I mean, if an agent goes from one brokerage to another, those clients aren't going to stay with that brokerage. They're going to go where the agent goes because that's who their relationship is with and who they
Sure.
trust. So I don't
And
think
that's
it
why a
didn't slow
managing
down.
broker has to be desirable to work for.
Absolutely.
Right. That's why they want
Yeah.
to keep their
Absolutely.
agents happy.
Yeah.
So I don't think making that change and starting this really affected our business.
No, I don't think so either. Obviously, the goal is that like Luxe West becomes the brand that is like highly recognized, and that is something that people want to call, even if they don't know Dylan and myself. But right now, we were able to still put food on the table because of the past relationships. So we had enough of a pipeline and relationships, you know, beyond that. Transitioning from our last brokerage to opening our own wasn't like detrimental to our business. Like it was still Chloe, it was still Dylan, you know.
How do agents, so if like you're talking relational equity, how do agents engage and build new relationships? I mean, it's people call and you pass on, you know, referrals, but what are other manners and methods that agents engage and use?
I would like someone to teach me that, because I honestly think that thankfully we've been successful without having to engage in much of like dialing that down. Like, what do we need to do to get business? And so that's what's kind of exciting for Luxe West, is that we have been able to, we got some coaching, Ryan Adams, shout out. And even he was like, and I'm kind of patting ourselves on the shoulder here a little bit right now. Okay.
But I'll say it's bad, but also
It's
good.
bad, but good. But like, we have been able to grow a business and what we have individually and then combine together. And we really didn't know what we were doing in order to do that. We definitely knew what we were doing in real estate, contracts, like how to represent.
We
like,
weren't intentionally seeking
but
a zip code and farming it
Yeah.
and doing any of that, which is something that we can do and we will.
we will do. I mean,
But,
and that's what I'm excited for.
We've luckily
but-
had enough business just from, like you said, referrals and word of mouth and meeting people and people giving us a chance, and they're like, well, yeah, and then they just keep going with
Yeah.
us.
It's like
Yeah.
your intrinsic skill set.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So thankfully, like that, I mean, I would love to hear how other agents do it, because at some point, like that's, you never want to, like, we always want to grow and like we want to get to the next level. So that will matter to us more here in 6 months' time when we're able to sort of be settled with everything we've got. But yeah, I feel like thankfully, like Ryan, my point is that he was like, how are you girls here doing this when you don't even know where this person came from? Like, what?
People just call us, and I'll have to
Shout out
like
to
write
you
down
guys.
on a notepad when she's on the phone, like, where did they hear about you? And because we'll just pick up a phone and someone's like, oh, I want to list my house. And she's like, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. And I'm like, you don't know them. You don't know where they came from, how'd they call you.
Yeah.
We just do it.
Yeah.
When we started, I said, Kevin, where are our customers going to come from?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. We're going to start and they're going to come.
Yeah.
And I was like, awesome. Let's do it.
Thankfully,
Well,
like,
it's like, and some days, and, you know, I'll let you know in a year if that worked. You know, it's like, but it's like but then after he's like, hey, let's get some other things to like,
course.
to start trying to build a brand and
People
get to know you and
Yeah.
things. So I was okay, cool. But yeah, no, on the framing, because my background is framing, it was very much just, hey, like,
yeah.
and then you just word of mouth,
Yeah.
and you just get a reputation of being good at your
Absolutely.
of a craft.
Yes.
We were building framing. And the next thing you know, man, you're
It's
working.
happening. It's
Yeah, and
happening.
it's like the
yeah.
so.
Yeah, for sure.
What is y'all's now? You've probably taken on a lot, but what, like, if 3 years from now, what target of what customer is an ideal customer? Are y'all like looking for big farm and ranch houses, or do you just, or you're like, hey, we're going to take it all, or what's your, what are your goals, or what's your
luxury Western? Right? No, I mean but farm and ranch is our passion. And with homes, like nice horse places, or nice homes on land, or just bare land. That's kind of where we. That's
where you really would like to be.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, we would love to have some, super large ranches that we just had to focus on those, within the 12 months of your real estate year, if that's what it sells within. But again,
what is a super large ranch?
Oh, see, yeah, I guess let's go dollar sign on that.
Okay.
Let's go dollar sign, because I honestly, like, it really, you can have one on 1,000 acres and a home with green carpet in it, and it costs less than the 20-acre mansion, in just on the outskirts of the Metroplex. So I guess, like, it really is a matter of, like, I mean, it's all about making money. Don't lie. Like, we want to have, like,
so what's a big, is it an expensive or a big large property? Is that 5 million? Is that 1 million? Is that 10 million?
That's really broad, I guess, like for farm and ranch, like, because again, it comes down to like the land cost value, the house cost value, the exterior amenities on it, like stalls.
Your barns.
So
2 million up.
Yeah, 2 million up is definitely in our area a good price range or something like that. Yeah. But sounding cliche, we also love selling like a 2-acre place that's like an 800 square foot cute little cottage home to our clients too.
We just listed 2 starter homes in Granbury with y'all. It's been wonderful working with you so far.
Yes. And so it's never about like oh, we're only going to farm this. Would that be our goal? Probably no different to you guys. You'd love to build,
Which house is profitable?
Well, that's what, like, on my framing side, all my guys, like, we all like the big, cool houses, but everybody wants to, every once in a while, they just want a small, just a house where they don't think.
Yeah.
They're just out there having fun, enjoying a day.
For sure.
So it's like, it's nice to sprinkle in some, like you said, a cool little house.
And I'm not sure with us, I think it'll go the direction that it goes. But with us, it'll always be more about the clientele. Like, it'll be the people in our industry, people in the rodeo world or the Western world. Oh my goodness. And it doesn't matter if they're just starting or,
I mean, honestly,
or if they've made it and they're doing a $20 million ranch.
For sure. Because we literally have a client this Saturday. Like, he's looking for, over 6 sections of land. That's a client. But then we're going to go to an auction on Saturday for a duplex for him, and we're going to bid on it. And it's, so like there really is not, a number. Like, it really comes down to who we end up working with and enjoying. That would be more the goal. Who do we enjoy working with?
Attracting your
buyer. It takes us
nothing
all
wrong
to
with
make it
Zillow
nice.
buyers, but not taking not having to take every Zillow buyer that calls and makes you just go video 50 houses before they.
Because that's when you end up wasting your time.
Yes.
So that would be where I say, like, we would love to get eventually, we would say we're successful, is being able to pick and choose out who we work with a little bit more, as opposed to, okay, well, that's 2 million,
running around like
but I really don't know if I want to work.
You want to bid where you can just say, I know this person is gonna be, he's serious,
enjoyable.
Whether selling or buying, or
absolutely,
and it's enjoyable. The transaction's fun and enjoyable.
And honestly, in this industry, when you're first starting, it's a little bit harder to make buyers have everything in line ready to buy, and then you start showing homes, because you're just like, okay, well, hopefully I can like talk them into buying once I go show them some homes, and you waste a lot of time and you do stuff. But as you grow in this industry, you can say, can't wait to work with you, but you need to get all your ducks in a row. We're going to get fully approved, pre-approved. Know you're ready to buy. Go. So as you grow, you waste less time.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, you have more confidence in like, hey, this is our system.
Yeah.
And you've got to do it this way.
Yeah.
Because it
And
ultimately
honestly,
saves you time.
You
But when
value
you're
your
young,
time.
when you're starting
young,
out,
you're
you're
just
like,
like,
hey,
I'll
we got to
take
hit
it.
it. We got to go. Yes.
I can't tell you how
And
many.
it also, it saves them heartache.
It does.
Yeah,
it
you're
does.
like, oh, I
It
want
is the right way to do it,
You
for
lost
sure.
it because
Absolutely.
you weren't prepared. So you helped their experience with a little bit of
100%.
So I think we're kind of wrapping up, but if if anybody's listening and you were to offer just an elevator pitch of, hey, this is who we are, and this is the service we bring. You wanna close with
Saw you,
that, or
Chloe.
any other thoughts?
Oh gosh. Okay. Do we do the awkward, can you do the awkward hands and I'll talk?
Yeah.
You know, we are, Dylan and I both bring different things to the table. So you really are getting a 2-in-1 with the two of us, because our bank accounts are obviously separate, but like we are both always there for one another, whether it's my client or whether it's her client that we're helping each other out on. And Luxe West Realty really wants to kind of zone in and give everything for that client, and specifically see them win in the end, whether it's helping them invest, whether it's helping them buy their first home, whether it's helping them sell their last family home, their ranch. There's a lot of emotions tied to real estate. And realtors can get really bad raps, and we're looked at like car salesmen, and we want to take that out.
Profiteers.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of them out there like that, for sure. Yeah. There's reasons that reputation is out there. But Dylan and I really enjoy getting to know who we're working with and matching them to that piece of property. And we kind of have a really badass system. Like, we have good assistant, we have amazing marketing. We really kind of have next level stuff going on with kind of our image on what we enjoy in life. And it kind of just works pretty good.
It's a really long elevator.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah, we took us to the 15th
You stopped
floor.
the hands.
Yeah.
Like, I started having to do the hands.
Any other thoughts? Any questions, Kevin? Before we,
No, I think I'm good.
all right, guys, it has been, ladies, it has
enjoyable.
been
That
a
was
pleasure.
cool. Yeah, we did good.
You-
That was,
It
yeah.
was awesome. So thank you for coming, and episode 8, real estate
Episode
with Luxe
8.
West Realty.